This is our home planet, Earth, and this is Saturn, the most beautiful planet in our whole solar system. The name of this image is The Day the Earth Smiled. This rare image was taken by the wide-angle cameras of Cassini spacecraft during a solar eclipse on 19 July 2013. There are two gas giants in our solar system, Jupiter and Saturn. Where Jupiter is famous for its gigantic size, Saturn is famous for its beautiful golden ring system. Sadly, this unique ring system will not stay forever. It's getting destroyed and will disappear one day. So today we will talk about the ringed planet, Saturn. Hello everyone, my name is Aditya and welcome back to my channel Sky Map. Famous astronomer Galileo Galilei was the first to observe Saturn with his telescope in 1610. He said Saturn is a triple body system. In 1616, he observed two half eclipses around the planet. Now we know what he saw around the planet. Apart from rings, Saturn itself is a strange world. It's a gas giant, means there is no solid surface. Its atmosphere is more than 96% hydrogen, and the whole planet is made up of more than 75% hydrogen. For this high amount of hydrogen, its density is 0.687 gram per cc, which is even lower than water. Technically, if you can place Saturn in a pool of water, it will float. But it doesn't mean Saturn is a light or small planet. Its mass is 95 times of Earth, and almost 764 Earths can fit within Saturn. One thing in Saturn is very Earth-like, G-value. Saturn's average G-value is only 14% higher than Earth. Why average? Because the radius of the Saturn is not similar everywhere. The radius near equator is 60,268 km, and near the poles it's 54,364 km. This means the polar diameter is way lesser than the equatorial diameter. This image is taken by capturing the infrared light. Saturn glows in infrared light. In fact, it radiates 2.5 times more energy into the space than it receives from the sun. But how a gas giant can radiate so much energy? The answer lies inside the core. Saturn can be a gas giant, but its core can't be gaseous. Scientists think if we consider the mass and size of the planet, the pressure and temperature near the core should be much higher. The pressure can reach over 1 million times of Earth, and the temperature can reach over 11,700 degrees Celsius, which is the twice of the surface temperature of the Sun. So, in the core of Saturn, under such extreme conditions, hydrogen and helium should stay in liquid and metal form, and the carbon present in the core of Saturn is in the form of diamond. There might be a small rocky core at the center of the Saturn. This massive active core is also the cause of Saturn's unusually strong magnetic field. Its magnetic field is the second strongest one, just after Jupiter, among the planets. Saturn is 9.5 astronomical unit away from the Sun. For reference, one astronomical unit is almost equal to the Earth-Sun distance. Due to this distance, Saturn takes 29.4 years to orbit the Sun once. However, calculating the rotational period of Saturn was not so easy. The planet doesn't have any visible rocky surface. Moreover, different segment of the planet rotates at a different speed as it's a gas giant. Scientists faced the same problem with Jupiter. But in the case of Jupiter, scientists studied the magnetic field of the planet to understand its rotation. While in the case of Saturn, scientists faced some peculiar problems. As the problems were unique, scientists found some unique solutions. Saturn is not a perfect sphere, so the influence of its gravity on its ring is not similar everywhere. Studying the same, they calculated its rotational period. Saturn takes 10 hours, 33 minutes and 38 seconds to rotate once on its axis. In Saturn, we can't see as many wind currents as Jupiter, but the picture changes when we see Saturn closely. The highest recorded wind speed near the equator is 1800 km per hour, which is the second highest just after Neptune. So the wind speed in Saturn is even higher than Jupiter. At the North Pole, we can see a storm of strange hexagon shape. The cause of this exclusive hexagon shape is still unknown. This storm is so big that you can fit nearly 2 Earths within it. With the change of Saturn's season, this hexagon also changes its color. At its south pole, we can see another storm. This kind of storm is common on Earth. See the eye of the cyclone on Earth and on Saturn. Both are very similar. But unlike Earth, this one is locked to Saturn's south pole. This is the great white spot of Saturn. According to observation, this storm is somewhat periodical. We can see it after every 28.5 years, which is also one Saturnian year. Just like its elder brother, Jupiter, Saturn also has bright auroras. In Earth, these bright auroras are formed due to the interaction between solar radiation and Earth's upper atmosphere. It generally forms near the poles, as the magnetic field is relatively weak over there. The Saturn auroras are many times bigger than Earth and mostly visible in ultraviolet light only. But the rings of the Saturn plays a significant role to create these auroras. The strong radiation and the charged particles present in the solar wind clash with the icy particle of the ring. As a result, some particle of the rings gets destroyed and some gets charged. On one hand, it destroys the ring system, but on the other hand, these charged particles formed from this ring gets combined with Saturn's strong magnetic field and enter Saturn's atmosphere through the poles. For this unusual phenomenon, the strength of the aurora gets increased. All planets beyond Mars have a ring system. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Even scientists have found rings around asteroids. So rings are not very rare in our solar system. But in the case of Saturn, the ring is the brightest, biggest and most visible to our naked eye. Previously, it was thought that the ring was present since the formation of the Saturn, as it resembles a protoplanetary disk of a newborn star. But later studies showed that the ring is very new compared to the age of Saturn. Saturn is one of the oldest members in our solar system, almost 4 billion years old, and its ring system is only 100 million years old. There are mainly two popular hypotheses that explain the formation of this ring system. The first one says there must be 2 more moons before the formation of the ring. A massive collision between these 2 moons has formed these beautiful rings. The second one says before the formation of the ring, there was 1 more moon around the Saturn. But unfortunately, the orbit of the moon crossed the Ross limit of the planet. The Ross limit is the distance from the planet at which a moon or a second body will disintegrate due to the gravitational pull of the planet. So the moon disintegrated and formed this golden ring. Now we don't know which one is true, but the rings are very unique. The rings are 10 meter to 1 kilometer thick. It's almost completely composed of billions of chunks of water ice, ranging in size from smaller than a grain of sand to the size of mountains. For better understanding, in this image, the green and blue color represents the water ice and the red represents rocky particles. In this image, the red indicates regions with particles bigger than 5 centimeters. Green and blue shades indicate regions where the particles are smaller than 5 centimeter and 1 centimeter respectively. So the ring's particle size decreases with the increasing distance from the Saturn. I am using the word rings or ring system, not ring, because there are multiple rings in this system. Let's take a closer look at the rings and the width of the rings. The first one is D ring. Its width is almost 7,500 km. Then the C ring, 17,500 km. Then the largest and brightest B ring, 25,500 km. Then comes the Cassini division, almost 4,700 km. From Earth, this ring appears as a thin black gap in the rings. Then comes the A ring, 14,600 km. And at last, the F ring, 50 to 500 km width. F ring is the smallest and the most active ring of Saturn. There are many gaps in between the rings, and generally it had formed due to the disturbance of moons. Just for example, the moon Pan. It orbits Saturn within the Encke gap in the A ring. The moon Atlas orbits in between the F and A ring. Another moon called Daphnis orbits in the Killer gap of the A ring. In fact, the moon Daphnis interacts with the A ring and creates ripples. You can also see the shadow of the ripples. These three moons, Pan, Atlas and Daphnis, are called Saturn moons because this kind of moons collects material from the ring and increases their size. That's why the shape of these moons are very unusual. Janus and Epimetheus, two moons of Saturn, share the same orbit. How? In this pattern. Believe me, it's true. Being a bigger object, Janus moves a lot less than Epimetheus. After each encounter, the orbital radius of Janus changes by 20 km and Epimetheus by 80 km. When one moon comes forward, another goes backward and vice versa. This happens every 4 years. What's more interesting is this motion creates this density wave in the B ring of Saturn, the same process that creates spiral galaxy. So every second wave in this image is connected with the previous one, and the time difference between each wave is 4 years. Being the brightest ring, we see spoke structures in the B ring. Scientists think this structure is formed due to the interaction with Saturn's strong magnetic field. In fact, one study shows that the ring system is getting destroyed for the solar wind and Saturn's strong magnetic field. So, eventually, it will disappear within less than 300 million years. NASA has also observed a unique 2.5 km tall structure at the edge of the B ring. This image shows how the edge of the B ring extends and hugs the A ring from time to time. This is the F ring in straight line. Just see how much disturbed is it by the small moons. Prometheus, another Saturn moon. interacts with the F-ring. It touches the F-ring and comes back, kind of a cosmic dance. Till now, we are talking about the inner rings, but Saturn also has outer rings, G and E ring. Both are not easily visible like the inner rings. G ring lies in between E and F ring. Its width is approximately 9,000 km, mainly composed of the same water ice. Saturn's E ring is the largest planetary ring in our whole solar system, extending over 1 million kilometers. It has formed due to the cryovolcano's ejection from Saturn's sixth largest moon, Enceladus. The end of the Saturn's ring system is a highly debatable topic. Some scientists think we have found it. Some think it has expanded far beyond in space. But do you know, from the year 2025, Saturn's ring will be almost invisible from the Earth for 3 to 5 years. If you know the reason behind it, please write it down in the comment section. Saturn has the highest number of moons in our whole solar system. Due to the high mass of the gas giants, Jupiter and Saturn attract many bodies in their orbit. That's why Jupiter has 95 moons and Saturn has 146 moons. These captured bodies can be very small. Seeing these tiny objects from Earth is next to impossible. So with the increasing power of man-made telescopes, the number of discovered moons are also increasing. The biggest moon of Saturn is Titan. Titan is the second biggest moon of our solar system, just after Jupiter's icy moon Ganymede. So it's way bigger than our moon. Titan is so important for human being that if we don't count Earth's moon, then it is the only moon in our solar system where man-made spacecraft has landed and sent pictures to us. In fact, NASA will conduct a dedicated mission named Dragonfly mission for Titan. According to scientists, other than Earth, Titan has the most suitable environment to evolve life in our solar system. Another important moon is Enceladus. NASA's Cassini spacecraft has detected water coming out from its active cryovolcanoes. Indirectly, it's a proof of water oceans underneath its surface. This is Iapetus, the third largest moon of Saturn. This reddish-brown color on the moon is the same as Pluto's red color. But the difference is scientists don't know the origin of this dark-colored material. There is a lot to talk about these moons. If you want, I'll make a separate video on these moons. Otherwise, this video will be very long. So, this is it. Saturn, the ringed planet, the beauty of our solar system. If you found this cosmic journey as fascinating as I did, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family members. And remember, keep looking up, stay curious, and explore the mysteries of the night sky.